Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Naja Atutijani. This broadcast is also being streamed live on YouTube and on our website nta.ng/live. Remember to also follow all our social media handles. Let's begin with the approval for reform initiative for the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, APCON, where the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says the federal government has given approval. The minister announced this at the 49th Annual General Meeting of the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria in Lagos. Anthony Forson was there for NTA News.
In his paper titled The New World Order, Lai Mohammed disclosed that the reform initiative is to strengthen the advertising ecosystem, encourage inclusiveness, as well as attract investment to the industry.
My presence here underscores the vital role and stature of the advertising industry to our economy, to our creative industries, and to the government's efforts at providing the enabling environment and regulatory tools necessary for sustained growth in every productive sector of the economy. We believe professional bodies such as the AAAN need the vital support of the government to be able to proffer the best, most effective, and unique solutions for the unique challenges that confront our nation in these very difficult times.
And as the world, he noted, is rapidly changing in its dynamics of opportunities and risks, relating with consumers in a data environment will bring brand consumers closer.
The same factors that have made this the best time for the economic exploitation of the creative sector are the same factors that have also created a great deal of competition. It's also this new opportunity of talking directly with consumers in a data-enabled environment that has taken brands and entrepreneurs closer to their consumers more than ever.
I can tell you and testify today that behind the scene, the Honorable Minister has worked tirelessly for our industry in support of some of our policies. Right now we have the APCON law in almost the final stages, and he has been single-handedly instrumental in making sure that that law sees the light of day. So, Honorable Minister, Sir, Your Excellency, I think you've done us proud, and you've supported us in more ways than one, and we look forward to more support coming from your ministry.
The minister was accompanied by APCON Registrar and Chief Executive Officer Olalekan Fadolapo and the Director General NTDC, Folorunsho Koka. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The president of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has given assurance to United States investors that Africa is a secure, competitive, and profitable market for investment. This was at the U.S.-Africa Business Summit in Marrakesh, where he urged American investors to see Africa as a logical investment destination and to engage with the continent in win-win partnerships. Justin Bem-Onyi reports.
Africa is ready. The U.S. is ready. Let us turn conversations into commitments. Let us turn commitments into investments.
More than 400 business and government representatives hinged discussions on building stronger U.S. and Africa trade, investment and commercial ties as the U.S. Corporate Council on Africa partnered with Morocco to organize the summit under the theme Building Forward Together. The event presented an opportunity for the African Development Bank's head to bear his mind that despite the disruptions of the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on economies, the number of private equity deals in Africa increased from 230 in 2019 to 255 by 2020.
Africa, ladies and gentlemen, therefore offers a very profitable investment destination. Savvy investors know.
The AFDB president invited American businesses to invest in the opportunities created by the African Development Bank Group's $1.5 billion African Emergency Food Production Facility designed to ease the impact of the current global food crisis worsened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Justin Bemuni, NTA News.
Still on business, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council has commenced talks with development partners aimed at strengthening the trade between Nigeria and West African countries. Comfort Amadou reports.
I used to pay for a basket of tomato last year. It was almost double or 3 times.
The global economic shocks as a result of rising inflation, dwindling oil revenues, and the war between Russia and Ukraine have compelled countries to develop various response measures to revive and sustain their economies. Nigeria, in response to these challenges, is diversifying its economy to keep up with the global economic realities by expanding Nigerian trade and brands to international markets and West African countries. The Nigerian Export Promotion Council, one of the key drivers of non-oil export, is interacting with ambassadors, consuls of embassies, and development partners towards bridging trade gaps in the sub-region.
More trade with foreign countries, more forex, more stability of the naira.
These efforts of the Nigerian government to reinvigorate the non-oil sector and the country's economy are seen as timely and commendable.
Economy, trade, investment should be not only the main objective of diplomacy, but the main objective of all the states, the governments should go there.
We will continue to create opportunities and also ensure that we are providing the rights and appropriate export incentives.
We are hoping that in the near future, we will be able to include South African exporters in one of these events, because South Africa and Nigeria are already working together in quite a number of areas that seek to bring social cohesion between the people of both countries.
The NEPC is also leveraging on opportunities in the AfCFTA to grow the country's foreign exchange earnings and access to international markets. In Abuja, Comfort Amadou, NTA News.
To food security now, Nigerian farmers are raising concerns over the recent situation as it affects food demand and supply. Consequently, rice farmers have signed a memorandum of understanding with international organizations with a view to increasing production and meeting local and regional demands. Musa Ali reports.
Nigerian farmers are making effort to boost food production to meet the country's demand of staple food as the world faces distribution challenges due to the Russian-Ukraine war. This is further aggravated by communal clashes, banditry, and other environmental factors in other parts of the country. To this end, farmers under the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria have signed a memorandum of understanding with some international organizations with a view to boosting their production.
By the time Nigeria gets it right, we all know that the whole of West Africa and Africa gets it right. And that is why Syngenta concentrated on giving us a helping hand to see how we can maintain the successes we have achieved. in the area of food security.
Farmers will be trained on smart agriculture, which will boost rice production not only for local consumption but for markets across West Africa.
It provides them a greater appreciation of the technical issues associated with water resource management, pest and weed control, and optimizing the potential for rice production in Nigeria.
The training taking place in Abuja also highlighted the need for not only Nigeria but West African countries to strategize and overcome overdependence on importation. Stakeholders say ECOWAS member countries can learn from the rice revolution of Nigeria.
We are here to really work with them and try to give substance to the program and the final touch of the design, the program collaborative efforts between these two organizations to truly implement the phase 2 of the rice revolution program of Nigeria.
This is the second capacity building workshop for rice farmers with a view to increasing yield. Musa Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Victim Support Fund has continued with its humanitarian services in the country by inaugurating 3 boreholes for the Okurike Akwagune community in Biase local government area of Cross River State. Odi Alenio reports that the non-profit foundation also distributed food items to vulnerable households in the community to cushion the impact of COVID-19.
Of the COVID-19 has practically affected people's livelihood, the economy, and all facets of human endeavors, particularly during the lockdown. It is against this background that a non-governmental organization, Victim Support Fund Task Force, moved to provide palliatives to the vulnerable ones in the country. And this time, some communities and households, including Okurike Agwagune community in Biase local government area of Cross River State, are among beneficiaries of boreholes, while others were provided with food items to maximize positive impact on the intended beneficiaries.
It's very important to ensure that you are meeting people at the point of their needs. In this project today, we're providing food and medical items to the good people of Cross River State. We are confident and counting on these partners to ensure that these food items actually reach the people that we intend for it to reach.
Food items, including medicals, worth millions of naira, were handed over to the Cross River State Ministry of Health for onward distribution to vulnerable households in some selected communities and health centers across the state.
This will definitely go a long way to help alleviate the sufferings of perseverance.
I'll say a very big thank you for the VSF, the project that have brought to us.
Victim Support Fund Task Force is a non-profit foundation established in 2014 to help restore the livelihoods of victims of insurgency and to set the background for peace building in war-ravaged areas of the country. In Calabar, Ode Alenyo, NTA News.
On the security front, the Cross River State Police Command has rescued an undergraduate abducted from the campus of Arthur Jarvis University in Cross River State. The State Commissioner of Police, Aminu Al-Hassan, made this known in an interview with the NTA News crew in Calabar. Justina Etim reports.
Incidents of kidnapping had for about a year now been checked in Cross River State until the 19th of July 2022, when news broke out that kidnappers invaded Arthur Jarvis University in Akpabio local government area, abducting a student while inflicting injuries on another who escaped being kidnapped. The student has been rescued as the police raided a creek where the abducted student was kept, while 2 kidnappers were captured.
We proceeded to go from all the surrounding villages and the surrounding areas. And mark you, that Akpabio is by the sea. We have a lot of creeks around the area. But luckily enough, we have started getting some information which led us to arrest 1-2 persons.
The police commissioner, who says the student is healthy and responding to treatment, urged the public to avail the police of useful information that will lead to the raid of criminal hideouts to ensure a secured environment. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
Similarly, the Niger Police Command has arrested a suspected serial killer and notorious kidnap kingpin in the Kontagora area of the state. The suspect was reportedly arrested based on credible intelligence. Husseina Musa reports.
The suspect, Bashir Abdullahi, aged 40, met his Waterloo while planning to recruit armed men to perpetrate his usual nefarious activities. Though claimed to be a retailer of farm inputs and machinery, he was allegedly caught in the act while arranging to kidnap his former local government council chairman and the father of a former commissioner in the state.
I was owing my business partners about 60 million naira and do not have the means to pay them back. This was what pushed me into committing the crime that brought me here.
Further investigations by the police revealed that the suspect murdered his younger brother in March this year after alleging that the deceased swindled him of the sum of 79 million naira and informed their family members that the brother was killed by bandits in a neighboring community.
His brother claimed that the business partners have come to collect the money, so he felt suspicious, and at the end of the day, he used a stick available within the area to hit his brother, which resulted in his death.
In another development, police tactical team also rescued 5 people unhurt out of the 9 abducted by bandits in Serkin Power, Bunya local government area of the state. However, still on the trail of the hoodlums to rescue the remaining victims. Emina Husseina Musa, NTA News.
It's time to join our Lagos Network Center with Adiola. It's good to see you, Adiola.
Good to see you, Nadia, too. Welcome to Lagos. With many decades of gainful bilateral relations spanning cultural and economic ties, Nigeria and Brazil are on a quest to achieve more together, holding each other's hands in military cooperation. Consular General of Republic of Brazil to Nigeria, Ambassador Francisco Carlos Luz, expressed this optimism at the Western Naval Command of the Nigerian Navy, where a visiting Brazilian naval ship is set for a joint drill and sea exercises. Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
A big part of the Atlantic Ocean, which incidentally borders both Nigeria and the Republic of Brazil, the Gulf of Guinea, and its 2.35 million kilometers square of water, is a common patrimony for many coastal nations, and securing it a joint task for all of them. Coming barely 10 months after its naval frigate, the Independencia, dropped anchor at the shores of Lagos waters on a port visit, this port call by Brazilian naval ship Onyao further underscores the importance of the waters and Nigeria's dominant role in securing it. To do this better, Consular General of Brazil to Nigeria, Ambassador Francisco Carlos Luz, told his host that both countries must leverage their old socio-cultural ties to forge stronger military relations.
And this is helping in growing, training, participating in joint operations. I think this is quite positive for both countries.
And so we are doing some boarding exercises, some type of maneuvering, helicopter operations and things like that, so that we can make our backyard, call it South Atlantic, a good place for both of us.
Although the proposed drills and joint sea exercises are common among navies with shared goals, the flag officer commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Yakubu Wambai, says this one offers opportunities for peer review that will ultimately enhance the ability of the Nigerian Navy to police the nation's maritime domains.
We are here now. By October, hopefully there will be other exercise, another ship will be coming to continue to foster the synergy that we've had right from time of independence.
A total of 5 Nigerian naval ships will be participating in the joint drills with the visiting ship in Lagos. Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
And from securing the maritime domain, we move on to the creative industry. As the creative industry in Nigeria continues to thrive in the global markets, the need for sustainability remains paramount. To achieve this, a strategic memorandum of understanding between the Nigerian Film Corporation and LAFAC, a French film production institution, has been signed to equip young Nigerians with requisite knowledge and various skills across film and television production. Diana Ajali has the details.
Drifting to locations and movie shootings, Nigerian movies stand out globally. How best can this be sustained than championing the education of the younger generation with creative virtues and be streamed into all areas of film production? This, the Nigerian Film Corporation and sister agencies are optimistic will further grow the nation's GDP through job creation.
I see the gap and the holes and the need for us to have to start training more hands in different areas of production.
Harmony of biodiversity destroyed, birthing climate crisis and crime phases.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions.
Examining challenges and opportunities.
Giving human face to the science, facts, faiths, and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
Thanks for staying tuned. We're sorry about the loss of signal from our Lagos Network Center. So let's join Chinenye in Enugu instead. Hello, Chinenye.
Thank you so much, Naja Atu. Welcome to Enugu. The Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, AGKSA, has continued to applaud some key players from Enugu East Senatorial Zone of Enugu State for their support and hospitality towards the enumerators posted to their area on the trial census. The Commissioner gave the commendation after monitoring the ongoing exercise in Abuani, the Kano West local government area of the state. Okechukwu Agubama reports.
Addressing journalists, the Federal Commissioner expressed satisfaction with the level of cooperation exhibited to the enumerators sent to one of the enumeration areas mapped for the trial census at Obuna Ugo community in Kano West local government in Enugu East Senatorial Zone. He re-emphasized that the ongoing trial census is becoming easier because of the introduction of technology in the system.
They have done so well. Let me just put it in that way. They have done so well. They have exceeded our expectation. And you know it's a trial census. So for the past 16 years, we have not done census. So, and we are doing a digital census, which is the first in the history of this country.
He commended the functionaries for putting in practice the training they received, which enabled them to handle and convince the people on the need to be captured. Earlier, the Federal Commission visited some stakeholders within the enumeration areas. In Enugu, Okechukwu Agubama, NTA News.
As Nigerians are gearing up for the 2023 general elections, political activists have stressed the need for the electorates to be more politically aware to ensure they take the right decision during the polls. This came to the fore during a sensitization meeting held for electorates in Anambra Central District. Chinyere Fesi Okoye reports.
Of all the social theories that have been made by humans since the beginning of time, politics is said to be one of the most important, as the world is shaped and governed by the individuals chosen to represent the masses. Ignorance can cause an electorate to vote for representatives that may do more harm than good, or make one not exercise his franchise, as many shy away from politics because of the negative impression they have developed about it. Therefore, to correct some of these anomalies in the political landscape, especially in Anambra State, and equip the electorate to be informed voters, is part of the reasons for this sensitization meeting.
Going to cascade it down to the local government, to the ward, and all to the polling booth to give our people a sense of belonging.
We have to reduce ignorance and we want to de-emphasize it by.
While expecting the electoral umpire INEC to continue improving on the use of beavers, the organizers and participants say the 2023 general elections will no longer be business as usual.
Beavers is a way of returning sovereignty to the people. People's vote will begin to count. It's the best thing that has happened to our electoral process. And I've been urging our people to procure their PVCs because this is one man, one vote.
It's my rights. I'm not going to sell my rights. I will vote with my PVC. I'm not going to take anything from anybody.
It is expected that more political awareness programs should continue in different fora for more improvements on the nation's electoral processes. Enoka Chinyere Fesi Okoye, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Enugu. It's back to Naja Atu in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Chinyere. It's always a pleasure. Now that the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has directed the continuous voter registration be extended to weekends, our reporter Ifoma Ojinta has been visiting some registration centers to ascertain the level of compliance. Let's get the details.
Sunday, and one would have expected that residents of the FCT will be at various churches or at home relaxing since it's a weekend. The residents of FCT are not leaving anything to chance to ensure that they remain relevant in the scheme of things come the 2023 general elections. They have come out in their numbers against all odds to ensure that they exercise their franchise come 2023.
You can see the turnout of people. There are so many people interested in politics now, voting. You know, it's never been like this before. And within the period of extension, I'm aware that millions of people have registered.
I must be honest, I didn't go to church. We don't want to stay back and wait for some people to make a decision where we complain. We all want to come out and make our decision. At all registration centers visited this Sunday, INEC officials were on ground early enough to ensure that the process is going on smoothly.
People are eager to have their PVCs before the election come 2023. This exercise is supposed to be a continuing thing. It's not supposed to be something that will stop because election has taken place. Even if election took place today, it should be a continuous exercise.
Security personnel were also on ground to maintain law and order, while business-minded individuals are cashing on this opportunity to make BRICS business. It's been Ifoma Ojinta, NTA News.
Thank you, Ifoma. Hipdet University and British American Business School's annual lecture and investiture ceremony has been held in Abuja, with academics re-echoing the need for deconcentration of powers at the federal level. Joseph Otsen has details.
It is an academic atmosphere and many here will be inducted and honored with awards. But before then, the congregation will be lectured on the state of the nation as captured in the book titled Which Way Nigeria? The Destiny of Nigeria in a Three-Dimension Universe, written by Chancellor of British American Business School, Professor Paul Godwin.
The states of Nigeria should be allowed to manage their resources and pay tax to the central government, to the federal government. This will allow the states to look within.
The only way forward is to revamp the oil and gas sector by bringing in the revenue proceeds from the oil and gas sector to activate other sectors.
I believe that Nigerian agri-trigger will be ultimately pushed, and it will unleash the potential of Africa.
We must pressure our government to introduce religious tolerance
After the lecture, which harped on innovation and creativity as the way out to dwindling economy, then came time for the investiture and presentation of honorary doctorate awards to 53 persons and research fellows of the institution.
This is a historic event, and we will carry on providing trainees.
Distinguished personalities were presented with awards at the occasion, including President Muhammadu Buhari, who bagged an award of excellent performance in agricultural transformation and sustainability. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Now let's find out what's happening in Maiduguri with Mohammed standing by to give us updates. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Naja. Thank you for joining us in Maiduguri. Towards meeting the objective of returning internally displaced persons back to their ancestral homes, as peace gradually takes root in the northeast, Victim Support Fund (VSF) and Borno State government are targeting over 9,000 victims with palliative support. Ahead of the movement and provision, IDPs from Daruri camp in the outskirts of Maiduguri were sensitized on peaceful living and skills development. Umaru Kirawa reports.
Abba Babagana was once a successful businessman from Bama local government area of Borno State, whose community was overrun during the peak of the Boko Haram insurgency, leaving him displaced with 2 wives and 11 children. The federal government, through Victim Support Fund in collaboration with the Borno State government, are now sensitizing the IDPs on how to live peacefully with one another, as government hopes to engage them in business skills, which will be complemented with cash support as resettlement drive picks up in earnest with the gradual return of peace.
The government have taken adequate steps, particularly security arrangement.
We are here to enlighten them. The exercise, according to the leadership of Borno Renaissance Microfinance Bank and the federal government's Victim Support Fund, is a deliberate effort to hasten the relocation drive in line with the aspirations of the displaced persons.
Victim Support Fund is supporting about 9,768 IDPs to return back to their communities. And with that regard, Victim Support Fund is giving them money ranging from 100,000 to 50,000, and also we are supporting them with food and non-food items.
The faces of the IDPs, as you can see right behind me, speak volumes of their desperation to go back to their ancestral homes, as government puts more effort in resettling them. In Maiduguri, Umaru Kirawa, NTA News.
In a similar vein, World Health Organization and partners are sustaining enlightenment on causes and preventive measures as best ways to combat the escalation of COVID-19, cholera and monkeypox, among other diseases of contemporary times across the state. It is against this backdrop that the WHO flagged off a 30 days house-to-house awareness for residents of Bulunkutu, a densely populated community in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Jadwa Justini.
The World Health Organization has over time sustained campaign on COVID-19 prevention through provision of personal preventive equipment to health institutions and other organizations. This time, the WHO is championing creation of awareness on the need for residents to be vaccinated, alongside maintaining a clean and hygienic environment to prevent outbreak of cholera and monkeypox, as recorded in other local governments of Borno State.
Of recent, we have other public health diseases that are also emerging, like monkeypox, which has been reported in 2 states of Bay States in the northeast. That's Adamawa and also in Borno. We would like to enhance the awareness in the states and beyond with regard to the prevention of epidemic-prone diseases in the area. At least the 30 community health champions that are available at the moment. They are working at around 4 LGAs, this including, of course, GRA, MMC, and also MAFA.
Residents of Bulunkutu Salake community appreciated WHO for the awareness and assured to put into practice what they learned.
Mutane suka nuna mun cewa lalle su ma suna goyen bayan wannan abin 100% saboda duk abin da zai zamanto cewa zai kiyaye ka ne daga wani cuta to gaskiya su ma suna son sa.
The sensitization campaign is expected to last for the next 30 days. In Maiduguri, Jadwa Josini, NTA News.
Time for a
Thanks for joining us in The ongoing nationwide strike embarked upon by Bakers Association of Nigeria has pushed up the prices of bread. It's consequently a demand on consumers to dig deeper into their pockets to find extra money to procure the staple food. In many instances, bread has gone out of reach. Rejoice Animeka has details.
The continuous rise in price of bread is already biting hearts and families and individuals who love eating bread. Therefore, when the Association of Bakers across the country commenced strike action, it became worrisome and many decried the development. The strike is said to be caused by hike in the price of flour, and Nigerians in Benin complain that bread, which complements their daily meals, is now out of reach of the common man.
These days, we have to maybe 200 or 300 you can afford bread, but now, bread are just increased as if it's other thing. So I bought bread, and that was on Monday. I used to buy it for 450, but it's not 500. But don't really know who to blame. Is it the flour dealers or the bakers? We don't really know who to blame. Everything is just up.
For the dealers, the continuous rise in price is affecting patronage.
Bakers are trying to say flour is dear, and they are trying every day. They are putting the bread. When they buy, we are putting our money every blessed day.
They are calling to concerned authorities to come to a compromise so that the prices of bread will come down and be at the reach of all. In Benin, Rejoice Animeka, NTA News.
Prices are determined by fundamental market-driven factors involving supply and demand. These changes as economic events unfold and trigger waves of buying and selling. The roles of unions cannot also be underestimated. Dennis Temple has the report.
Vendors, traders, and an assortment of promoters in markets loudly call up passersby in order to attract customers. Often they try to outdo each other as they seek to raise sales and escalate profit. However, a visit to some of the markets in Benin, where some staple foods, fruits, and other items are sold, tell the story of how prices of these commodities continue to skyrocket even on a daily basis. What could be responsible for the high cost of these commodities in the market?
Those people that are supposed to control the market, they are the ones escorting money from us. If there is no junior, I don't think the price rate will high like that.
Government should help us. That all these people where they those bush where they collect 100,000 naira before you enter bush, you don't go see them. Today we have union for plantain, union for okra, union for pepper, union for tomatoes, union for rice, beans, and so many other items in our market. And it's like a satanic network. They network with yourself and put a fixed price. But when government come up, listen to us. We are ready to show them these people that is doing this evil union.
Mrs. Maureen Okoje is the secretary to Edo State Market Association, the Yoruba chapter. She says the leadership of the market only plays a mediatory role between the supply chain and further seeks to protect the middlemen.
And we as leaders, we still cry to the government to come to our aid because most of these things are still affecting us. Our leadership have been checkmate. So checkmate is because why? It seems as if we are not functioning.
Government official who spoke over the camera says plans are on ground to stabilize the market structure. In Benin, Dennis Temple, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Najatu in Abuja.
Thank you, Obehi. The Civilian Joint Task Force, a group of combatant civilians presently assisting security forces in the crackdown on insurgents in the northeast, is offering to extend its services to the northwest, saying the success recorded in the northeast can be replicated in the zone if given the opportunity. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
The Civilian Joint Task Force is a group of combatant civilians fighting alongside security forces in the counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast. It was established in 2013 as a grassroots approach to securing intelligence for security forces and later transformed into a full combatant group fighting alongside troops. The force is now offering to extend its services northwest, ravaged by banditry and terrorism.
The Nigerian military's operation against the insurgency and kidnapping currently taking place in Kaduna, Niger, Sokoto, Zamfara, and Katsina requires similar approach of military operatives and civilians.
The proposal to extend services westward depends on the approval of state governors. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, 8 persons have been arrested for attempting to import hundreds of cocaine pellets into Nigeria through the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, the Enugu and Lagos airports. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, states other confiscated illicit substances concealed in a consolidated cargo going to Dubai, UAE, were also included 24 parcels of loud, a precursor for methamphetamine, and BMK glycidic acid, among other substances, with no fewer than 4 freight agents arrested in connection with the seizure. The NDLEA says 10 suspects have also been arrested in Kaduna, Abuja, Sokoto, and Anambra for being in possession of a quantum of illicit substances, including rofinol, codeine syrup, rubber solution, and other opioids. To party matters now. The All Progressives Congress, APC, in the Southeast Zone is strategizing to present a formidable front that will result in victory for the party across board in the forthcoming general elections. This informed the meeting of stakeholders from the zone in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Beatrice Anyam reports.
The Southeast APC stakeholders are here in Owerri, Imo State capital, to deliberate on how best to move the zone forward and ensure the party takes the lead in the zone come 2023 general elections. Governor Hope Uzodinma, while addressing the stakeholders, reiterates his determination to ensure peace is restored in the zone before the elections.
Some of us have been elected to manage party. It is a call to service. We expect that we do your best. And your best can only be assessed by the results. We cannot simply join 10 minutes at this point in time. We will look for people who will be able to deliver. We are not looking for a situation where we will have to go and beg state governments to give us 25%. No. We are prepared to win the election in the booths. We must take this power, whether we like it or not. And the only way we can do that is to look at the body language of the government. Everybody wants APC to win at the state. We must work as one united family.
The stakeholders meeting, which was interactive, attracted members of APC from the 5 Southeast states. In Owerri, Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
Now, our next set of stories will focus on the ongoing trial census across the nation, starting with Benue State. Ashezi Gopep reports that the National Population Commission says it is determined to deliver a credible, acceptable, and verifiable census in 2023. Following a successful exercise monitored by the State Commissioner, Mrs. Patricia Kupchi, in Obi and Gwe West local government areas of the state.
During the exercise at Ojigbe Ogori community in Obi local government area, the commissioner expressed delight over the successes recorded, reiterating that the commission will ensure the exercise is credible so as to provide a good foundation for a smooth conduct of the 2023 population housing census.
Network here does not limit or whittle down their efforts. They will go capturing, they will go enumerating, but it is saved automatically to the clouds. When you go within the service area, it drops down and you have your information. The enumerators have been very wonderful. We have been well received. The community is very accommodating, very receptive.
I commend the federal government for doing this trial testing so that if there are hitches on the way,
they can actually be mocked at the re-exercise. So,
the Federal Commissioner also had a stopover at Ikyomango, a community in Gwe West local government area, where she interacted with functionaries. The trial census is a process in which all census operations are tested in a comprehensive manner to test strong their suitability and readiness for the actual census. In Makudi, Ashizigupep, NTA.